When I give you whistle, you say prrrr, prrrr. When I give you whistle, man, you say prrrr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Pro. Today will be 2 pair for year. Double. They can't give you the Club World Cup review. And I'm here with Intifuni Coach Coachito. Tactical. the right time you come here, the Chelsea, that be Betis game. You can't give some, tacticals give. Your coach, you go can second house, and people can respond. We say, yeah, this guy. The boys really feel you for that episode. And thank you for being around again. I hope everything cool.
Everything is okay, bro.
Yeah. How you know good day cool? You put swerve. The swerve of the century, the swerve of the decade. You put swerve the hard side, the Madrid City, Juve, Bayern, PSG, Inter Miami side. Can't do the normal in TB. What we name Fluminense, Botafogo.
Botafogo no be in TB.
Oh, Masa, Botafogo.
Bro, we knew
what
what
not tell me say them beat PSG. When I tell you World Cup, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Spain win World Cup. Switzerland beat them. So he be there one of those things.
But you see the way the Brazilian teams they move.
I know.
Yeah, they don't lose game yet.
Because
now.
Because that game you lost against that was
against
Flamengo. It was because of your coach. You could have won that game. You were winning the game comfortably.
I think part was because of the coach, and then part was also because of Jackson. Yes. Because the game was it was 1-0, and then they brought him in. 1-1. Within a space of 6 minutes, we considered 2-1. There was still time for us to because
it was 2-1 there. You go feed
exactly. And then if you look at the way Flamengo were playing, they came really high pressing in the first half, but in the second half they really dropped. They dropped the tempo. So I was very surprised Jackson came when the game was not really more physical again to take that.
He wanted to stretch the Flamengo defenders.
I think he was just frustrated.
Okay.
It was needless. So I think, you could blame the coach for that. He could have done his substitutions earlier, just like he always does. We were still playing James in the middle when we needed to control the game, when Flamengo actually sat back and then gave the possession to us. But then it took a little bit of time for him to do that, and then Jackson just got the record. So I think big ups to Flamengo. They really played well.
Okay.
But then I wouldn't take anything from them.
Okay.
They could have won it because they were leading 2-1 already. So
So let's before we start with the reviews, let's go into the projected what we have right now, the projected matchups and the line of where each team will be finding themselves. Can you take us through?
Yeah, sure. But this one I don't see United for inside though.
So you won't give me pressure before we will take starts.
Oh nah, I forget I see United.
I did Madrid right now.
You did Madrid right now.
I buy Madrid jerseys like 3. So why is still they my top six?
I know here. I don't know say he left Madrid.
I shown man you for Twitter. I delete the club in app. I go and follow them for Twitter, for Instagram. I shown them. I don't listen to anything. Because they score Aston Villa. Make Aston Villa score them, rather qualify at the expense of Chelsea. Fine, even though Chelsea still qualified, but make Aston Villa rather go. You cost Aston Villa. We just did it. I deleted them.
Maybe they both didn't deserve to go. Okay, so looking at the teams that
on Saturday,
on Saturday, Chelsea will be playing against Benfica.
Yeah, Benfica.
That's on 28th.
Yeah.
Then we have Palmeiras playing against Botafogo.
Also on Saturday.
Yes.
8 p.m.
This one, the Brazilian debut.
Oh yeah. So the Chelsea game around 4 p.m. That
4
is
p.m.
16 hours GMT here.
Right.
And then the Sunday game, I think it will be tasty on Sunday.
Yeah.
PSG,
Inter Miami.
Yeah, Messi reunion.
Informative.
Oh yeah. I still say the PSG fans pay back or something. Maybe then calm down. Messi, even at 30, right? He dropped about 39 or what?
Yeah, 39 recently.
Even at 39, he can still do something. So maybe just down Chiku. He doesn't score Messi there, then agenda go continue.
But I feel like he left on a good note. He left PSG on a good note.
But some of the fans, they say the way he left, he not left good. You see, he just phased out. We didn't even know how he even left. Like Ronaldo, how he left, man. We don't even know how he left. We see then the team come inside.
I guess because they wanted a Champions League and then he couldn't get there.
Yeah. So they also be playing 4 p.m. against PSG.
Against
Inter
PSG.
Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the 8 p.m. game.
8 p.m. will be Flamengo against Bayern Munich. This is where my interest is.
Bayern Munich.
That would have been Chelsea.
Bayern Munich.
That would have been Chelsea playing against
we'll come to them. Let's go into the Chelsea game. And you see, I watched the first half. I think because of the time, and I say, Charlie, now the next day I can't work. But I had to watch the first half at least, just to have, a technical mindset of how Maresca will try and play going into the knockout stages. And then he didn't disappoint. I think he deployed a very good team. Nkunku coming back, I was so happy seeing him back. Madueke, Enzo starting him right now. He didn't deploy him like in a very, very bad taste as he did against that's Flamengo. Take us through the game tactically. So, how did he get it right?
All right. So if you've listened to Maresca, even going to this tournament, I know a lot of things like European teams are complaining because of the schedule and then the weather now in America, very humid, very hot. And then it's difficult for the teams. Some of them have played, like Chelsea getting to this tournament had played like 56 matches the whole season already. And then they are going into this competition again. So he always made mention there was going to be rotations. And that was the reason why I kind of cut him some slack the game against Flamengo. Because you look at, I'll just pick Reece James for instance. The way he's managed him, the way he's managed Lavia too. James for the past 2 years hasn't really played a lot because of injuries. And then when Maresca came in, he really wanted to know what has been happening with James. So you can see he's not rushing him. I can't even remember when James played like full 90 minutes on the bounce for Chelsea. So he was really trying to manage James, and then the same thing with Lavia. So he kind of changed the selection against Flamengo. And then maybe could have done the substitution earlier on, just like I said, he didn't. And then we end up losing 2-1 because of Erika Tuku. But then yesterday, when you listen to the press match conference, he said there was going to be a lot of changes. So I knew he was going to change a lot. Pep, the other day, changed the whole 11 when they played against Wydad. The team that played against Wydad didn't play in the next game. So I knew he was going to make a lot of changes. So I wasn't surprised seeing a Champon giving his first start. I saw Badiashile also
getting a start.
Yes, Jorgensen also coming to go. 𝘍𝙀𝙆𝙆 playing as a winger. I mean, most of the fans didn't really understand why, but then you could see we didn't really play much from the wings. So
and
it was
Nkunku.
Nkunku. So then he wanted to play Nkunku. He played Nkunku and then Enzo.
Oh, Enzo, right?
Yes, as a double 10. He played
Lavia. Yeah, that's it.
And then what's the name? Gusto, always inventing to form the double pivot. So it was like 3-2-4-1 when we're building up. And then most of the time you see Nkunku, he loves to play centrally. He doesn't play as a winger. He can't really track back. He wants to be in between those half spaces, receiving the ball. And then he was playing with Enzo there. But then when the game started, it was really difficult to break the Esperance team because they wanted to match us up in the middle. So they kind of like left the wings for us. But then 𝘍𝙀𝙆 is not a typical winger, so we're definitely not going to get anything from the wing. So it looks like everything was going through central. We were very patient. We had to be patient. We needed just a draw to get to the next stage. And then, all due respect to the African side, they were never going to be a match for Chelsea.
For us, the Tunis.
Exactly. So we just needed to be patient, try to move the ball as quickly as we could, and then try to get the first goal. And then after the first goal, everything just settled, and then we took control from
I think within 2 minutes after the first goal, the second goal also came. And see, Enzo Fernandez, big shout out to you. I was a firm, critic of you when he came to Chelsea. The reason why I was a critic of him was the same, some of the Chelsea, I don't want to use all. I don't want to use, hasty generalization. Some of the Chelsea fans, when other teams bought players for a hefty price, were always on their neck. I remember United, when we were in school, Chelsea fans were all on our neck when we bought Pogba. Always on his neck, even though he was giving some good performances. Even though he won us a European trophy in his first season, they still were giving him some slack. So I was like, nah, you have been bought for 120 million
that's a lot
euros.
of money.
That's a lot of money from the World Cup. Just playing 6 months in Europe. I felt he was a good player, even though he won the FIFA World Best
young player.
I felt he had just played only 6 months in Europe. So he wasn't really acclimatized with the European football like that. But like, yes, very good player all around. He struggled. That January, obviously, normally he would struggle. There's no player, I think, I've not seen any player who has hit the ground running from January. I've not a January sign who has hit the ground running. Very, very, very difficult. So I cut him some slack there. But the next season was so abysmal. That next season, you guys could testify. Some Chelsea fans even wanted him gone. But this season, oh my god!
But then let me come in here.
Yeah.
So that
he had injuries. You say he had injuries. But you see, the thing about football is when it's yours, you have excuses. If United had bought Enzo Fernandez and injuries and no one would care.
You know, banter is banter.
I know.
But then when you want to be realistic,
yes.
You know, this guy was playing with pain. He was playing with injections.
Yes.
He had hernia.
Yes.
He had to do surgery.
Yes.
So you could just understand, coming from, you can never give you 100%.
I know.
But if you want to banter, that's cool.
It's not banter. But you know, football is so brutal. You can be a coach and you can win 6 years in a row. That one season pay.
You know,
win something and they will sack you. That's
true.
how football is. Football is brutal. Football doesn't care whether you got injured. You remember this guy? This guy who used to get hurt a lot. Abu Dhabi. See the talent he had. But no one cares. Football is brutal. We don't care about your injuries. Dembele, nearly in live show.
Yeah.
In live cast.
Until he moved to PSG.
You understand? No one cares about your injuries. Maybe your wife died, your father died. No one cares.
Right.
That is how football is. Football is very brutal. So yes, he had the hernia. We knew all these things.
Right.
I was even vouching for him to go and have the surgery very early on. So that he go lay him off like the way Bellingham
wants to.
He go do your own fast. At least he go miss like the first 2 months of next season. Do and make it left your top. So say you no go stress. Last season, the stress of Bellingham or maybe they say on the shoulder. You could see he was wearing that black thing.
Yeah.
Every time
he played,
he was struggling.
Yes.
France didn't care whether he wasn't getting the. He got more goals than Pedro. You see, the Barca fans say Pedro better pass him, and you have to accept it.
Right.
As in a top.
Right.
But you know.
I know.
But Enzo Fernandez, 16 assists this season. I'm so happy for him.
Fantastic season.
Fantastic season. I know some people with those who he had most of the assist in the conference league. But it's still assist.
Most of the time, it's just the application.
Yes, it's still assist.
Your face was in front of you.
Oh, yes. It's still assist. 16 assists. Don't be easy like that to be Bryan-esque kind of numbers he gives. So
and what really amazes me about his season is the way he's been scoring too. Not only the assist.
Yeah.
He's just mastered this role of arriving late into the box.
Yeah, he has been a leader.
Yes, most of Chelsea fans calling him Lampard now because of the way he's arriving in the box now. Yeah, he's been very good. 2 assists this morning, early dawn.
Very, very good.
The Tosin's goal and then
Delap.
Another beautiful assist for Delap.
So talk about Delap. Going into next season, what do you think, before we leave Chelsea, what do you think, or how do you think, as a coach, he'll be deployed? Will he be a two-top? Will it be Jackson coming back? Jackson will play wings, which we have not seen him playing wings before. Right. Will it be like what's his name?
Noni?
No, not Noni, the other one. I've forgotten his name. The French guy, the one who played yesterday. Nkunku would try, and I want to know how he will be deployed.
Okay, starting from Nkunku, I don't think his future is here because, I mean, after the World Cup, there's definitely going to be movement. Yeah, because it's certain he will
move back to maybe Germany,
and that's why we really need a left winger. You see, yesterday it was only Tariq George, and then Noni playing as a left winger, and then Neto. So we have like only 3 typical wingers, and that's why we're in the market for Gittins. Yeah. So talking about trying to know whether Jackson will be playing there. Jackson played there only under Pochettino. We haven't really seen that under Maresca. And then, I think a few days ago here, Maresca was talking about people asking if he'll be playing two top because he has Delap now and then Jackson. Yeah. He said that's something to think of, but they haven't really tried it. I don't really think we'll be going for a two top. You look at these 2 players, 2 different profiles. Yeah. Yes, even though they all like to run, that's one similarity that they have. But then Delap is more like stronger, especially with his back to goal. Yeah. He's very strong, very aggressive, just like Nicolas Jackson. Yeah. But then I think he has a better shooting conversion rate. You see, in front of goal, he has this wild technique of striking the ball. Yeah. And if he finds himself anywhere around the box, he just wants to shoot. Just like yesterday, his first chance, took the ball just around the D, and then he shot his first shot on target. So I think it will be who tries to grab that shirt, that number 9 shirt. Yeah. I don't see us playing both of them in the same game. Maybe tactically, some teams might come differently and then would want to play 2 top, but I don't see that happening like really often next season. So it's going to be who really wants it. And then I've heard some big figures in Chelsea already saying they had this board and then fans meeting last week, and then people started talking about how Delap has already taken the share from Jackson because Jackson is going to miss the first game of the season because of the red card he had against
Newcastle.
Yes, and then coming to the Club World Cup, he picked up another red card again. So now Delap had to play yesterday. Magui came in to substitute him, and then going to the Premier League, Delap is going to start. So if Delap can keep doing what he's has just started doing. In his first match, he gave a beautiful assist to Enzo.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he scored a fantastic goal. If he keeps doing that, then Jackson would have to fight for his spot. That's how I see it happening next season.
Okay. Let's move to one unserious team, and that is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich could have saved football from a lot of noise pollution from Chelsea fans, but they decided that, let's make Chelsea go the easy way, and then we will go the hard way. So Bayern Munich sacrificed their lives for Chelsea. Such a very shameless club and a very shameless coach. That is what is his name?
Company.
I don't even want to mention his name. But talk to me about his time at Bayern Munich.
So Company
over 100. How you gonna mark him?
He's won the league.
Everyone wins the league.
Everyone
at Bayern
Munich.
You can win the league at Bayern. even anyone. If you're Schwarzenegger, anyone can win the league at Bayern.
Okay, so if everyone wins the league at Bayern, I think he's done quite well. You look at the kind of signing he's done.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that rare seeing a German team, German superpower, like buying most English boys. You see, he came in there. I don't know whether he brought Dyer or Dyer.
No, Dyer came during Tuchel's time.
Before.
Yeah.
So he brought in Harry Kane, brought in Olise, and then Paulinho, that guy from Paulinho from Fulham. So bringing a lot of the boys from the Premier League, and then winning the league. I think he's done quite well.
Yeah.
It wasn't really good in the Champions League, so I'll give him like a 70 out of 100.
And then his performances during this
Club
World Cup 10-0 against that is Auckland. Everyone can score Auckland.
Yeah, part-time football.
Part-time football is the second game. A very, I would say, very nice game against Boca Juniors. Right. 2-1. They won with the skin of their teeth. Very, very, very good performance. But just yesterday, the loss against Benfica was a very poor performance. And also Leroy Sané. You there talk. Leroy, I have nothing to say.
So continue from where I dropped on Maresca.
Yeah.
Most of these coaches, like the European coaches, they are basically just like in their off season, if you put it that way. So they are all trying to conserve some energy. I knew Bayern had already qualified, and then the motivation wasn't going to be that high. So I wasn't really surprised they lost against Benfica.
But at least a draw.
You could see the bookmakers all give
I know,
them
but
2 or 2.
if you as players, fine, even if the coach doesn't deploy good tactics, as players, there has been lines drawn. You understand? There's an easy way on your left and there's a hard way on your right. So just a draw would have just put you at about the easy way.
Right. You see the time Benfica scored their first goal. That was very early.
Very early.
Yes.
13 minutes.
Exactly. So maybe Bayern didn't really.
They had a lot of chances.
Yeah, a lot of chances to pull level and at least get to draw and then maybe avoid the tough part, just like you said. But I think Sané was very poor on the day, to be honest. Like, I didn't really watch the game, but then look, I watched the highlight and I saw him miss like 3 1v1s if I stand to be correct. Yeah. So,
second half, he missed 2, first half 1.
Yeah, it was that bad. So I think they could have just won it easily. Harry Kane had a free header, just last corner of the game, and then he missed it as well. So I think Benfica just wanted to qualify. Yeah. They got early goal and then they protected it. But then I don't think Bayern are gonna be like walkovers in this tournament. They had to qualify to the round 16. They did that perfectly, and I know they'll be all ready for the round 16.
Okay. Let's just see. So today's matches at 7 p.m. we have Mamelodi Sundowns versus Fluminense of Brazil. The table toppers. Let's see who will win the table or who will win. If would it be Fluminense or Dortmund? Dortmund will be facing Ulsan HD from Japan. So yeah. Guys, this be the end of the Club World Cup. I've been doing this with Cochito Ishmael.
Nice
it's really nice having you here.
Nice having you too,
and Charlie, thanks so much for the job we do during the season. And guys, subscribe. The most important thing, subscribe. Before catch 60K by next month. 60K. If you push. Like, share. Can't give anybody where you understand. And also 28 again at the car, you 28 with your boys. You know. When I walk, we day for you for Legon in front of that be voter hall, the girls that are hall. We'll start from there, then we go move to other places for the Legon inside. You understand? So guys, catch you later. Bye.